Hello, long time no speak. It has been quite some time since I have uploaded a podcast episode. Happy New Year. Welcome to the third episode of Smay Talks. I can't wrap my head around the fact that it's already 2026. Now, part of the reason of my absence was because, I started college and life happens. Another reason being, I would come up with an idea for an episode and I would tell myself, I'll film it this day. Oh no, I'll film it the next day. And then it just became like a cycle that ended on me just not recording. So that's completely on me. That was my bad, but we're back and I want to slowly get back into this. I have some new ideas on how I want to continue my podcast platform, and I want to dedicate more time to doing this because it is something that I actually truly enjoy. And I want to embrace the things that I love more in the new year. Anyways, a life update for you guys. I have successfully finished my first year of college. First off, it went by so slow yet so fast. And now I'm on winter break of my sophomore year. Almost done though. Almost done winter break. I go back next week. Let's get into the topic of today's episode. My current obsessions of 2026. When I was brainstorming on what I wanted to talk about, I was thinking, what are some things that I'm enjoying at the moment going into the new year? And thus a list was created. So let's jump into it. Number 1, an iced chai with oat milk. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a barista and I absolutely love my job. I love the people that I work with and I love every part of being a barista. I genuinely think it is a calling of mine. It's just so fun for me. One of the perks of my job is that I can experiment on different flavors to put in coffee. One of my coworkers and I will brainstorm together and we'll make up new recipes. We came up with our version of a blueberry latte, we made a campfire latte, and even a birthday cake one, all of which are very good. Now, on a usual day, I will just enjoy a nice, simple, iced latte. Purely an ice drinker. I will drink hot lattes on occasion. I have to be in the mood for it. And if it's super, super cold out, then I'll drink a hot latte. But generally, I drink an iced latte. Nothing too fancy, just something good that is my go-to would be an iced vanilla latte with oat milk, or we have an iced vanilla maple cinnamon latte, also with oat milk. Always have to get the oat milk. But then the holiday drinks came out and Starbucks released their gingerbread chai. Now, I've always been against chai. When I started my barista career, I didn't really think that I was gonna like chai because I'm not a big tea drinker. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like it. I never really tried it until my boyfriend convinced me to try the gingerbread chai at Starbucks. One sip of that thing and I was obsessed with chai. I don't know why, but there's just something about it that tastes so good. And now I started making myself dirty chais, which for those of you who don't know, a dirty chai is a regular chai with espresso. So now I've been experimenting with different flavors to put in a chai. I'll get an iced vanilla chai, a dirty vanilla maple chai. If you guys have any suggestions on what flavors I should put in my next chai, do let me know because I'm open to it. Next is The Tortured Poets Department and the Life of a Showgirl album by Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift. I would say I'm a newer Swiftie though. I did grow up with her music, but it's only in the past couple of years that I started to listen to it even more. For those of you who know The Tortured Poets Department and the Life of a Showgirl, those are two albums that contrast heavily. Since she's released her docuseries, I've been loving the Tortured Poets section. I love watching behind the scenes of shows and of movies and of like real life events. And now Miss Swift has blessed her fans with her perspective. The way her creative mind works is just fascinating, period. She truly thought of everything for her tour. If we just take a minute and you watch the docuseries, you will see that like down to the T, to the visual aspects of the show, she made sure to cater it to her audience. And I love that. One of the things that I genuinely love about her music is her storytelling, and each section that she performs in the Eras Tour tells a story about that specific time in her life. The Tortured Poets Department is an album that I've had on repeat recently. I really think a part of this album touches on the fact that she is reclaiming a sense of power, and I really think that that can be relatable, especially going into the new year. I've been seeing more and more people talk about just like protecting their peace and really finding themselves, and you can really see that in the Tortured Poets album. There is so much more that we could flesh out of that album, but that's like one thing that has stood out to me. And then she releases The Life of a Showgirl, and let me tell you, I don't care what other people are saying. I love this album. It is one of my top 3. If you don't like this album, that's okay. Everybody has their own opinion, but I don't care what the haters say. I love this album. I really think that transitioning from the Tortured Poets into The Life of a Showgirl is very smart on her part, because you're going from this very melancholy black and white to this pink glittery pen album. And it's amazing. I love it so much. I genuinely love it so much. It's just so fun and it's so colorful, and I really think it showcases that you can come out of the darkness, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Anyways, I love those 2 albums, and I'm going to give you some homework. I'm going to tell you 2 songs to listen to. One from each album. Number 1, from her Tortured Poets department, you should listen to Who's Afraid of Little Ol' Me. Then, if you have Disney Plus, watch the Tortured Poets portion. Even if it's just that song, watch it from her tour. Because I guarantee you, if you are somebody who performs, you will respect her performance. I know I do. And the live version of the song is just impeccable. I love it. Okay, so Who's Afraid of Little Ol' Me from her Tortured Poets department. Number 2, from The Life of a Showgirl, The Fate of Ophelia. It's the first song on the album, and I just think it's really good. No notes. I love it. It's such a bop. So listen to those, and if you like them, amazing. If you don't, that's okay. Let me know what songs I should listen to that are on your 2026 playlist, because I want to branch out this year and get to know some new artists. Next thing I've loved lately are crafts. Now, I was a major arts and crafts girl when I was little. I saw this TikTok where somebody was saying how in your 20s, that should be the time where you dive back into the hobbies that you had when you were a kid. Now, recently, I've been making collages for people, whether if it was for their birthday or for Christmas. I look on Pinterest for inspiration. I practically live on Pinterest, by the way. I mean, what girl in her... I was gonna say in her teens, but I'm gonna be turning 20 in less than a month, so I'm just gonna round up and say what girl in her 20s does not use Pinterest? If you don't, get on the bandwagon, because let me tell you, it will change your life. But one of the best parts about making collages is that I get to go to HomeGoods, and after I put the things in my cart that I didn't necessarily come for, I get to look for a frame that matches the personality of the person that I'm making this collage for. And then I get to go to the place that I know like the back of my hand, and that is Michael's Craft Store. Let's sidebar for a second. In elementary school, I had a birthday party at Michael's Craft Store. That is how much I love this store. They gave me an apron and everything. I mean, what little girl doesn't want to do arts and crafts on her birthday? Anyways, I would just want to dive back into arts and crafts. I think it's so fun, and it can be so mindless sometimes, in the sense of you don't really have to put much thought into it as long as you're having fun. Because art is very subjective. That's a whole other conversation. But if you're like, I just want to color, or I just want to paint, you can do anything you want. You don't have to be the best at it. I know I'm not. But you get to have fun. You get to experiment with mixing colors, and hey, go on Pinterest and make an entire crafts board on what paintings do you want to recreate, or what kind of things do you want to crochet, you know, things like that. So that's what I've been into lately in the arts portion. I've been learning how to make blankets, like chunky yarn blankets. I made one a while back for myself. I just recently made one for my boyfriend for Christmas, and he loves it. And it's so nice because I can just sit on the couch, turn on The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and just make my blanket. It's just a nice calming distraction, arts and crafts. And I think that's something I am going to need going into the new semester at school. Okay, last but not least, I have a farmhouse dream. On TikTok, there's this girl, her name is Tabitha. I don't know if you know her, but she recently bought a farm, and a bunch of her Vlogmas videos came up on my For You page. I went down a rabbit hole. Seeing her set up for her farm was just so cool, and she made it look so fun. Now, my aunt owns a farm, so I know a bit about farm life, but I don't have extensive knowledge of it. However, during my morning scrolling, I started a Pinterest board, as every girl does, and I started to map out my vision. I want a little farmette, as my mom calls it, and I don't want a lot of animals. I want something a little low maintenance, again, because I don't have extensive knowledge of beef cattle or dairy cattle or anything like that. You name it, and I probably couldn't tell you. But I'm here to learn. And also, I have a whole coffee trailer and coffee company dream of mine that I want to do. How cute would it be if I had a pond with some ducks, and then I had 2 cows, so neither of them would get lonely, and then I had some hens and maybe 1 or 2 bunnies. Like, just how cute would that be? Oh, I love it so much. I just love thinking about that kind of stuff because I, in the future, get to make it my own and personalize it the way I want it. Oh, and I can't forget about my cats and my dogs. I want 2 cats and 2 dogs. I already know the names of the cats that I want. It's going to be Fred and Ferguson. Fred is going to be an orange tabby. Ferguson is going to be this fat, fluffy cat. Done deal. I just think it's fun thinking about my future farmhouse because I am going to have one. Well, I feel like that's the most I've talked all break. Thank you guys for tuning in to Smay Talks, which, by the way, I might change the name of the podcast. I'm still brainstorming, but I'm glad I could come back on here and talk your ear off. I look forward to actually prioritizing the podcast and making it a permanent hobby. If you have any ideas of what you would like me to talk about or any topics that you want me to dive into, feel free to comment below, send me a message. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at officially_Salome, because then you guys will get updates for the podcast. I hope you have an amazing day, and go get yourself an iced maple chai. Bye.